Hey Hepcats, it's been a while since I posted a video, but that's because I've had a bit more going on than usual. You see, at the beginning of last month I got a phone call letting me know that my dad was being taken to the hospital after showing signs of a stroke. I heard the words dad and stroke in the same sentence, and I immediately flashed back to when I was a kid, and my grandmama, that is my dad's mom, who wasn't much older than my dad is now, had a stroke and was rushed to the hospital, and it was terrifying. She stabilized after we got there, and she seemed like she was going to be okay. They were talking about recovery after a couple of days, and then she wasn't okay, and she died there in the hospital. So I was terrified that I was about to experience the exact same thing with my dad. My dad wasn't able to come home right away. He was in the hospital for a while, and about a day or so into it, I get another phone call from my brother letting me know that Dad can't come home yet, and that I needed to come there. And so that's what I do. I pack up and I go to Memphis. He had had a series of mini strokes and had to have surgery, had to open up his neck and clear out blockage in an artery to prevent a massive stroke or an aneurysm. And I couldn't help but have this feeling that I may be losing my dad. He wanted being okay, but I spent a couple weeks in Memphis while he was in the hospital before the surgery, and then until he got out of the hospital and went to a rehabilitation center to help regain function in his left side, which he lost a lot of and is still struggling to get back. And it was really hard to leave when I finally had to come home, and he was in the rehabilitation center and he couldn't come home yet. But the hardest part was probably that feeling that kept coming back, that I might lose my dad. I mean, waiting to hear how the surgery went was, well, it was indescribable. And what it made me face, what it made me realize is that I'm going to lose my dad, and I knew this before I acknowledged it, but I guess it's more that I'm never going to be ready for that, because I was trying to prepare myself for this, and I realized that I couldn't. I mean, I've lost loved ones to cancer, and though it was a long process, and it seems as though maybe you have plenty of time to prepare yourself because you know it's coming, still, with each of them, the day that they died, it was still a shock, and it still floored me. And I realized there in the hospital when I was trying to get ready, this might happen, that I will never be ready, that I will never be able to prepare myself to lose the ones that I love. And that's kind of where I've been. That's what I've been dealing with. I've been worried about my dad a lot this past month, and even after I got back home, I had to play catch up a bit because everything else in my life kind of was put on pause. And then after I got my feet back under me, I still just wasn't up for talking about this or thinking about it any more than I had to, because I had been so immersed in this worry and this feeling for the past month that I just wasn't up for sharing. And I wasn't really up for making any other video, because this is what came to mind every time I went to make a video. I do have some other footage though, you guys. Next video will be a lot less heavy and a lot shorter. So look forward to that. There's some ridiculousness that I did when some friends came to visit, and hopefully it'll make you laugh. But I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, don't forget to be awesome.